Hey guys, the P320 freak just got his new toy. So this is a slide and a barrel kit from Arc Division, and this is first part would be the kind of box opening video just to see what we got here, and then we'll follow with some assembly and then probably some shooting videos and those kind of things. So first let's take a look what we have here. I'm glad that they're offering this gun butter, which is nice, as part of the package. And then there's some swag, good stuff. I wonder what McDonald's have to say about it. Yeah, looks pretty nice. There's patch, shiny stuff. Put it all aside. So this is a good version of, comped kind of or ported barrel kind of design. Some like optics mounting and blue Loctite and those kind of things. Okay, here's the assembly. Here's the kit. So what I like about it is this, the ported barrel. Check that out. Yeah, it's ported pretty deep and it has decent size. And this is the full length, by the way. And by touching the surface, I think the machining is pretty good. I don't feel any like rough part, and the feed wrap is pretty smooth, although it's not like super thin, but I think it's good enough. It's good enough for P320. I'm not really looking for a 2011 kind of a level. And associated with it is the full length slide, and the port on the slide goes with the barrel, so that goes like this. Well, it matches very well. Okay, and there's a front side, rear side dovetails. Okay. And interestingly, so regarding machining, I don't know whether they left this mark on purpose. I think, as I remember, at one point, I think they had this window open. And then they kind of changed their design by saying, okay, let's close this window. We don't need this one anymore because all the debris and all those dirty stuff could get in and then cause reliability issues. I believe that's what I read from one of their emails, but I could be wrong. Anyhow, and there's a smaller pores over here as well, and I actually not entirely sure why. Probably because here, as the slide, when you fire it and then as the slide goes back, they still want this smaller window to dispense gas, maybe. I'm actually not sure. And then let's take a look at the front. Looks pretty nice, honestly, pretty cool. And as you can see, this is a crowned barrel. I don't know what kind of degree, how many degrees is crown, or they call it a V crown or whatever. I really dig these kind of barrels. Looks cool. And there's some design like this. I don't know, I think it's mostly for aesthetic purpose, not really functional, but looks really very nice. Grip wise, yeah, I can say it's grippy, I think. Yeah. And it looks like this optics plate is G10, I think. It's not really important because I'm gonna put a red dot on it for sure, but it's looks a little bit, weird. It's not steel or metal plate. Anyhow, let's move to here. Looks pretty good machining. If I touch the inner wall, it's well coated and it's smooth. Unlike some other brand aftermarket slide that I've purchased before, they're really rough and not smoothened or filed or polished. You don't really need to polish it, but it shouldn't be like super coarse and unfinished. But for this case, it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy about it. The only thing, why I'm saying that is I'm worried that as I experienced from some other aftermarket slide, if it's not polished kind of well, and when you shoot it, and then as the barrel or the slide move like this, the super coarse surface in here could leave a lot of very ugly rub mark on the side on the barrel and makes it like really unnecessarily worn. So yeah, looks pretty good to me so far. I'm pretty excited. Next, let's put in all the internal kits, and I don't think I need to oil it further, and then put on the red dot, and then assemble it to the full-size grip that I want, and then let's see what it looks like. Okay, here is part 2. This is my SIG Legion comp, which has the X5 Legion grip and everything. So I'm gonna swap on the Arc Division upper assembly and see what it looks like. So empty. So take this one off. Actually, I can show you the comparison. So this is actually the Legion comp is actually full size, and this is a full size as well. You will see it's pretty much the same length. And for the recoil spring, I use the DPM system, and this is for the full size slide as well. Come on, there we go. Put the lug in. All right, and all, as you can see, all the striker pin and ejector and red dot, everything is on here. I use the Olight, green dot. As I was installing, the internal parts, I was thinking the striker pin channel, right, for P320, usually in general, right, people would recommend you to keep the striker pin bone dry and the channel bone dry to avoid dirty stuff accumulated on the striker pin and causing firing issues and those kind of things. So as I clean it, I was thinking, I usually first wipe off all the oil and everything inside the channel, because that's usually how they preserve everything. I wipe it off, use the degreaser and everything, clean it super well, make sure there's no grease, no oil, those kind of things. And then I do the same for the striker pin, and then I spray the dry lube inside the channel and on top of the striker pin as well, and then I put it back. That's one way. And over the years, I kind of also think for people like me, right, if you take out the striker pin and clean the channel and the striker pin after every shooting session, right, let's say 200 rounds, 300 rounds and those kind of things, then I think it's also okay to oil it, because you are giving it very little chance for those gunpowder and the debris and all those kind of things to really accumulate enough to cause firing problems and reliability problems. So I think things are not, there's no absolute things, it really all depends. And the second thought I have is, as you can see, I have the back plate, a kind of a Punisher aftermarket, just for fun. Back plate, and this one is made out of aluminum, and honestly it's kind of poor quality if you compare with OEM or the backplate that comes with the full internal kit. That one I believe is made of steel, so you can feel the very obvious weight difference. That one is way heavier than this one, and I believe is more robust as well. So this one, since it's aluminum, over time it will get worn out, and I've seen people having problems on this one as it wears more and more. It will eventually give you a problem. So yeah, for me this is more of a range toy kind of thing. I don't really, since I have way too many P320s, I don't think I will go through like a tens of thousand rounds through this one. So I think this is fine for me, but for you, just keep that in mind. And the other thing is, as I install this red dot, make sure your screw length on the right side is not too long. You should make sure after you tighten it down to 15 inch pound, then take this one off and check the ejector spring and make sure the right screw is not sitting on top of the spring and pushing it down, because sometimes if you don't pay attention, the right side screw could be too long, and it's actually, as you tighten down, it could be sitting on top of the ejector spring, and you don't even know, you don't even realize, because the spring is flexible. Just make sure that is not in the way. Those are the thoughts through my head. And also, for the new barrel and everything, as you compare with the old one, you will see where the wear rings are. And to me, I tend to put like a grease on those metal to metal contact part, just to kind of preserve the coating and surfacing a little bit better. I think if you just put purely gun oil, it should be fine. But to me, metal to metal grinding and the contact parts, nowadays I tend to just put more gun grease on it as an extra layer of protection. So now let's put this thing on and see what it looks like. Okay, again, empty chamber, empty everything, empty mag. Okay, take this Legion Comp thing out of the way. So you can see it's flush fit very nicely. The color is different for sure, but if you see, the whole thing comes together really nicely. The grid, I think, is fine, right? No problem. If you rack it this way, your thumb rest is gonna come in the way, and you're gonna, right on top of it, you will feel like. And if you rack it this way, it feels much better. And as you can see, the barrel porting and the slide porting is like this. All right. Overall, this is what it looks like. Overall, I'm pretty happy about really the machining and the details and the quality on top of it. It's only there's a little bit of like a machining mark here, but overall, I'm pretty happy about it, and I'm gonna definitely shoot it and see how it performs. So talking about porting, right? I have this one, the Legion, so it has shorter barrel, and so the barrel stops right here, and it relies on the ports on the barrel to function as a compensator, right? And I have this one, the port is on the barrel and through the slide. So tell me, which one do you think will have the better compensating effect? And to me, honestly, I feel this one will probably have a better shooting experience, because the porting is on the barrel. The barrel is just technically still longer than this one, and there's not much of a leaking of the air compared to this one. yeah, but whether you're able to perceive it, especially through 9mm minor ammo, it's hard to say. Probably, I bet I will not even be able to perceive it that much. Not saying it's not there. And the other thing is, recently I came across a somebody doing the barrel porting on his own. 2011, I think. Yeah, so he had a theory. So he talked about different porting pattern, right? So a big port like this versus smaller ports but more, let's say like 8 pores on the barrel. Even if the smaller ports adding together, right, the total port surface is the same as a one big port, what do you think the difference would be, right? So he believes the smaller ports will have better, will have less friction to the bullet as the bullet comes out, and better accuracy, and those kind of things. So overall, just better than one big port. After thinking about it and also discussing with my friend, I think I tend to agree with him, right? So because if you look at this, see how deep the one big port has to be cut, and then if you imagine a bullet going through the barrel, you will have good amount of surface that the bullet head is spinning inside the barrel, and then a good amount of surface that has no kind of a contact to the bullet, but the lower half will still have the, what do you call it, the flute, right, inside the barrel, the spiral thing, if you see, right? As you can see, the bottom will still have that thing helping the barrel, the bullet to spin and those kind of things. And then so from the beginning, it's been good contact all over the bullet, and then as it goes up to the front, and all of a sudden you kind of lose a big chunk of surface touching the bullet head. That's what I think is probably causing more friction and those kind of things. Whereas if you have more smaller pores, the barrel can probably maintain relatively better contact with the bullet head, and I think in theory I agree with him. Comment below, let me know what you think, what is your theory. But again, if you should stand and not like super rested or supported, you will probably not even perceive the difference, because this kind of porting has been out there for years, and I have never heard people complaining about accuracy due to that. So, oh yeah, actually talking about which, there is a grip point over here as well for you to help you rack the slide, but honestly I'm not sure, because the how hot this part would be, because if you see the fire and those kind of things, it will come right through here as well. On top of the top, it will come here as well. If you shoot a lot, I can imagine it will heat up this part of the slide a lot. So yeah, it will be probably hard to too hot to touch, but I think the design is pretty sweet. It helps you rack here as well. So overall, yeah, I think it's a good purchase. Arc Division, usually all year round, this complete slide kit is about 700-ish or close to 800 or something like that. But I was able to get it through a July 4th deal. I think right now they're running a 15% side-wise discount as well. So if you're interested, definitely go there and place your order. And they are pretty accurate about their estimate on how long you need to wait. I think I waited about 6 weeks solid, and yeah, it's pretty accurate when they gave you the estimate. And I don't know, this time the 15%, I think it came pretty random. They called it like end of summer sale. I think the next one would probably be Thanksgiving or something. So it's not cheap, but I think the quality matches with the price tag. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.